What's up, y'all? It's your boy Blue Collar Progressive here. I'm in my truck taking a delivery to one of our buyers, and I wanted to hit you guys with a little story time, a little funny story time about this guy that I'm selling furniture to right now. Mainly, I wanted to do this story because it's I've been wanting to talk about it for a while, because it relates to the whole tariff conversation going on right now, and Republican voters kind of getting, feeling the pain from the guy that they put in office. So anyways, I've been wanting to tell this story for a while, but it keeps, like, as we progress, it keeps getting better and better. More pieces keep getting added to it the more times I talk to this guy. So I'm going to deliver him, take him a shipment of furniture right now. So like I said, every single day it's like there's another thing that happened, another layer to the story, and so I'm happy that I'm just barely getting around to it right now. Also, I really need to get my mind off of what's going on at the warehouse right now, because my partner's like doing everything to touch my nerves, man. Like, everything. The guy is like, I'm always telling this to my girlfriend, but the guy pisses me off so much, and we are just constantly butting heads, and it's like, today is one of those days. So I want to do a little story time to get my mind off of things. Anyhow, so we have this, so our business is we pick up furniture from a big furniture supplier out in Southern California, and we do with their donations. So they, the stuff that they get warrantied back or whatever, that they can't resell, they donate to buyers like us, or not buyers, but they donate it to foundations like us, who take care of it and sell it to other people. Basically, one man's trash, another man's treasure type thing. They're getting rid of it. It's already been paid for. It's going into the landfill. Might as well get a tax write-off kind of thing for it. So that's what we got going on. So anyways, we're taking furniture to a couple different buyers around here, and the catch is that a lot of times this furniture is in used condition and needs to be like it's in used condition and needs to be fixed or repaired in some kind of way, or it's like a seam that needs to be sewed together, a little stain taken out of it, some pet hair, vacuum, whatever it is. That's sometimes they require certain things like that. Sometimes it's cosmetic, sometimes it's something like a mechanical part to the sofa has gone wrong and malfunctioned. So these buyers are essentially they are reliant on these little small pieces, these little small parts, electronic parts, that a lot of the times China is the only supplier of. So I'm talking these, to give you an idea, we sell a lot of these recliner sofas that have the little buttons on the side, and when the buttons go bad, the only thing you can do is replace the buttons with the little circuit board, and there's very few suppliers of these things. It's a very niche item. And so anyways, I've got this one buyer, right? He's relatively new to us. We've only been selling to him for the last couple of months, and he got a taste of how much money he could start making in the furniture business. He owns a thrift store, and mainly was doing little knickknacks, t-shirts, band t-shirts, stuff like that. We took him a couple of deliveries, and he realized how much money he could make, how much money there was to make taking this used furniture, spiffing it up a little bit, flipping it. And so now he's one of our regular buyers. He's addicted. He can't get enough. He's flipped his entire business because of us. He's now doing mainly furniture. It says furniture on the sign instead of thrift, to give you an idea. So anyhow, this guy, we're getting to know him because he's a new buyer. And anyhow, we get that kind of feeling through a number of his comments day in and day out that guy's a Trump supporter. Guy's a Trump voter, right? I think one of the first things he said, because we met him around the time when Trump first got reelected. And so, there were little comments here and there that tipped me off. One of the first ones was, he was talking about, hey, did you hear Trump said that made it that it's only man and woman. There's only man and women. That he made it so that there's only man and woman. And my response to him was, oh yeah, like, he's really working hard on the kitchen table issues, hitting right away, first day in office, doing some real heavy hitting symbolic bullshit, and you're eating it up, huh? I don't know, I'm gonna need a little bit more. Anyways, so guys always dropping little nuggets like that. I'm sure I'll remember some more and add in those later on, as I pepper them in later on as I remember more. But so this is the reason that I first found out that he was a Trump supporter. So anyways, the thing is that this guy is heavily, so here's the deal. So he got a taste of how much money he could start making from this in the furniture business, and we can only supply what we can supply, and sometimes it's really like the condition of the furniture is really poor. So he started thinking, man, I'm gonna start buying some Chinese furniture, and I'm gonna start shipping it from China and flipping it over here, shipping it and flipping it. And this, obviously, you can see where I'm going with this. It's a real great period in time to start going into business with the Chinese. So anyhow, guy votes for Trump. Trump gets elected. A couple months later, all this talk of tariffs starts coming around, and I see him, and he's got this fucking little smile that he's got on his face, and he tells me, looks like so much for buying Chinese furniture, huh? And I look at him like, yeah, no kidding, homie. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, you literally are the most short-sighted, nearsighted fucking person of all time. And, you know, the thing is that, like, I'm overwhelmed with this, like, feeling of schadenfreude, right? This, like, oh, haha, gets what he deserves type thing. But it sucks. Like, his business is my business. If his business is not going well, if he's not doing well, I'm not doing well. If I'm not doing well, he's not doing well. If I'm his supplier. If I'm not doing well, he's not doing well. And vice versa, if he can't afford to buy my products, then I'm not doing well. So, you know, joke's on both of us. Here I am. It's fucking funny because I'm politically exactly the opposite of him, right? But we both hurt. And I think that that's the underlying point behind this trade war that is really just, you know, the point that we need to hammer home is that in the meantime, while this geopolitical period in time resolves, we take the bullets. It's small businesses like his and ours that are taking the brunt of this. It's, you know, it's people at the checkout. It's people paying at the grocery stores at checkout. It's us. It's us paying at the pumps. It's us that are having to weather this storm. And, you know, for me, it's really funny to see how quickly people have flipped. You know, especially conservatives have gone from this like hyper consumption mindset to being, you know, the frugal ones, the ones saying, hey, well, you know, you don't need, you know, the doll thing that Trump is talking about. You don't need a lot of dolls. You don't need pencils. You don't need 10 pencils. You need 5. Well, I would argue that a pencil is especially if you're, you know, in school or whatever, like in the time that we were using pencils, right? Pencils are pretty important. Pencils are not dolls. That's not a frivolous thing. Those are tools. And if you can't get the amount of tools that you need, that's not a really good thing. And our president should be kind of protecting our access to tools and not threatening it. So, anyways, to continue on to the story, it gets even better. So, another part of these sofas that gets repaired are these little small niche electronic parts that go to the recliner sofas. So if you've ever seen one of those recliner sofas, or sit on one of those recliner sofas, you know, they've got those buttons on the side that you push and it makes the thing go back. Well, sometimes those buttons go out, or say the motors go out, or something like that. Well, there's only a few of these suppliers, these really niche small electronic suppliers, and a lot of them come directly from China. Most of them come directly from China. At least the ones that are good priced come from China. So he was telling me beforehand, oh yeah, we got to keep the costs down to a certain, like I can only charge him a certain amount because this is what the cost is. He's being transparent with me about what his cost is to repair them. And he's telling me that these little buttons are $75 for repair of them. So they're very expensive. So each sofa is about $75 to repair. And recently, of course, he comes over and tells me, I show up to him and he tells me, hey man, these buttons are now $150. They've gone, my supplier is telling me that the buttons have now gone from $75 a piece to $150 a piece. They've literally doubled. He's like, put in a big shipment, put in a big order with me now because they're about to double. And so he goes and puts in the order, but he's coming and telling me about this, and I'm sitting there thinking, man, like, I have never seen somebody regret their choice so fucking quickly. Like, I mean, I'll hand it to him. I'll hand it to Trump. Most presidents are relatively slow moving, all right? But the quickness that this guy has been able to inflict hurt on the American people and his supporters directly is just it's impressive. And I'll give it to him. And honestly, the thing that's even more impressive and sad actually is he's still on the Trump train. He's still on the Trump train. So this is the last part of the story that I just got the other day. But it just goes to show you how these guys, it doesn't matter what happens. This is a cult. Like, they love Trump. They are literally a homo for Trump. This is one of the guys. Oh my God, actually, there's two more things. So they love Trump no matter what, right? It's a cult. It doesn't matter. They'll be arguing that the tariffs do this one thing, have this desired effect, and then has the opposite desired effect, and then they'll switch to that and say, oh, well, this is actually genius, it actually did this. And so it's like, it doesn't matter what happens. It could be hurting their business, and they're going to continue to stand by the guy. So anyways, he's telling me the other day about how his buddy, his old law partner, so he got out of law. He was a civil litigator for 20 years, but then he got out of law and decided to get into owning his own business, own thrift store. And so his old law partner, he was telling me about how this guy is a real lefty, like, and how they're always getting into arguments with each other, and how this guy like lives and breathes politics. Like, it's literally all he talks about, all he wants to talk about. And so you can tell that these guys have really awesome lunch conversations, obviously, right? So anyways, he's telling me about how this guy thinks that the whole world is about to collapse and is being very hyperbolic. One could say very hyperbolic about, democracy is about to end and it's on the line, and things are never going to be the same after this, and he's very existential about it. And, instead of having an argument, the guy just is mocking him. Just like, oh yeah, and he just thinks everything's going to go to shit. And I just tell him, all right, he says that everyone's going to be getting locked up and blah, blah, blah. And I tell him, all right then you better say, hail Trump. You better get on the Trump train then now, ha. Like, you better start sucking up to Trump. And it's just like, what do you mean? Like, ha, like, we better just, let's, what did he say? It was something so ridiculous, so childish, like, yeah, like, you better, like, all praise Trump, and it's like, this is literally what they think. Like, there's no fucking argument behind it. It's so vapid. It's so empty. When you press it, there's nothing behind it. They're literally doing worse than they were this time last year. And they will literally turn around and tell you, when you don't agree with them, that you were bleeding, you don't look at the blood and say, ouch. Their argument is going, oh, the hail Trump, haha, better all hail Trump, haha, better get on the team. It's like, no, it's absolutely belligerent. And this is actually, I'm glad I forgot about this little side note. because it fits in here more better anyways. But this goes to show you how stupid and how vapid these people are. Like, how easily convinced they are. So this guy tells me the other day, literally, I kid you not, he's all giddy like a school kid, talking about, oh yeah, like, Ivanka Trump followed me on Twitter. Hey, dude, guess what? Ivanka Trump followed me on Twitter. Yeah, dude. And I'm like, and I literally don't know what to say to this guy a lot of the times, to the stuff that he tells me, because it's like, obviously I'm very opinionated and I have an opinion about it, but I feel bad for him. The guy is legitimately not, I mean, he's a lawyer, so he's very smart, but man, he's not thinking these things through. And on top of that, I have a business relationship with him, so we have to keep it very professional, you know. I don't want to talk about these things because I like him, and I don't want to not like him. I want to keep keep our relationship going, and I want him to do well. But I know that, that's not how I feel about him. I want him to do well, even though he voted for this. I want him to do well. I don't want that. But so the guy tells me that Ivanka Trump voted for him. So I'm like, or voted for him. Oh my God, well, that Ivanka Trump actually followed him on Twitter. But I fucking go and try to stalk him and try to find his Twitter, and it wasn't that hard. Naturally, I found it very easily. I just searched his name. He should be a little careful though. It's pretty easily connected with his business. So anyhow, I find his Twitter, and of course his bio is all small business owner, entrepreneur, former Navy vet, Trump supporter. And anyways, I go through his fucking followers, and sure enough, I find this supposed Ivanka Trump account, and sure enough, it's like you already know what I'm gonna say, it's like some fan account, and that literally says in the bio, not like fan account, not affiliated with Ivanka Trump, do not mistake, or whatever, right? You know, in the freaking bio. So I'm like, this is the perfect example. This is like literally so illustrative of these guys and how they think. They believe everything on Twitter, man. They read it on Twitter, and I can't tell you, you know, every other day with him, I told you, I already knew he was a Trump supporter without him telling me, because there's all of these comments about the homeless people around, and the this and the that, and the gays, and it's like, it's always some kind of homophobic comment, some kind of, hey, like, that's your girlfriend over there, or whatever, some kind of comment like this, you know? And so I already knew without him having to tell me, but he's always telling me, you know, it's like all I have to do is look through Twitter, and it's like I know who he follows on Twitter based on his takes, you know. It's like I scroll through the same Twitter feed in the morning that he does, specifically because I want to comment on how fucking stupid that right-wing Twitter is. But so I scroll through the same thing, so I know where he's getting his information, and he's always regurgitating this crap on Twitter. But guy literally believes that Ivanka Trump believed him, or he doesn't believe it, and he's just gloating and bloviating. Either one is ridiculous. Either one is psychotic, like, in my opinion. Either one is delusional and psychotic, and I really don't know what's wrong with these people. But you know, I'm about to see him I'm about to hop off the freeway. I'm about to see him in about 5 minutes. Hopefully this video blows up, and I end up having to remake it and maybe hide this talk a little bit less descriptive about things, so it doesn't pop up on his Twitter feed. He's the next FOMO, the next what's it called? Victim of fuck around and find out. I've been calling it FOMO the whole time. FAFO. He's the next victim of FAFO, and on YouTube. So pretty funny story. Guy's feeling the hurt almost immediately. I hate that I love it, but it is a little entertaining to see. I'm fortunate that, you know, it looks like our business is going to be doing okay. We're small enough that our overhead is is very small, and we're able to operate in the red for longer than others, I would say. And so we're going to be doing just fine. But you know, that's not the case for a lot of other family businesses or small businesses that are just starting right now, or have just started, or still very new. So I feel for everybody, and I feel for my homie here, my buyer here. His business is within is less than 5 years old as well. So he's one of these businesses that are really at on the chopping block. So anyways, like I said, I'm literally about to go and say what's up to him right now. So thought it was a funny story. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully have some more for you. I've got some other really funny stories coming up later on in some other videos. I rarely have time that I'm alone in the truck to have these kinds of videos. So anyways, it's been fun. It's your boy Blue Collar Progressive, and I gotta get out of here because there's some sirens going on. I need to pull over. All right, peace.